I love Chicago. Yep.
Yeah, he's about to say that.
Piece of Terror. That's one thing.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I'm the man who will fight. Yeah, all that.
That's not surprising in that based on your music, you take from several different genres. It's still hip hop at the end of the day, but those definitely the melodies like it expands beyond hip hop.
Yeah, that's why we were inspired by those many different genres.
Right.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, the take sounds so rough when we say it. Yeah, we were inspired by that. You know what I'm saying? So we were inspired by them to just create something. Right. It was like a big gel, like gumbo in a sense. Mix it all in together. Pow, you got something, a good dish.
Welcome to This Broken Mixtape, the podcast that rewinds and presses play on the soundtrack to your life. I am Jeff Wu.
And I'm Justin Lee.
Almost a decade ago, rappers Flynt Flossy and Whatchyamacallit founded Turquoise Jeep Records, an independent hip-hop label and group. Carving out a genre they self-describe as existing musical beings, the Jeep is known for viral music videos like Lemme Smang It, Or Fertilized, and Sex Syrup. We sat down with the homies, Flynt Flossy, Whatchyamacallit, Pierre Cashmere, to talk about how No Limit and Cash Money Records inspired them to start the label, the blaxploitation classic The Last Dragon, and how their music stands out in the current mumble-rap scene.
Oh man, I like that shirt, man. The Last Dragon.
Yeah. So this is the first movie I ever owned because it was.
Oh really?
It was left in the VCR machine. It was like the demo tape that they play in the store. They left it in there by accident. And so as a kid, I watched this movie probably like a good, I'm saying like, I'm not even exaggerating, probably like 80 times in my lifetime.
That's about
Probably 800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah, it's a classic. So
Oh,
good.
man.
And I finally got to see it with the audience. They screened it here a couple of years ago.
They did a screening?
really?
Yeah, they've done a few screenings here because it was
snap.
the 25th or 30th anniversary,
anniversary,
right?
yeah.
So they had the cast here. Yeah, he did like a road trip.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
T-Mac is like eternal.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't aged at
Oh,
all,
yeah, he
man.
looks
That's
exactly
crazy.
Yeah, I've
That
seen
shit
him.
crazy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hate that he's so fucking cool. Anyway, yeah. It's a dope shirt.
Thank you. So this week on the show, our special guest, Turquoise Jeep. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Hey,
What
what's
up,
up, man?
what up?
Thanks for having us, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
All good, all
Yes,
good.
yes.
So introduce yourselves individually, if you could.
Sure, I'm Whatchyamacallit, a.k.a. Whatcha, a.k.a. Mr. Licky Sticky, a.k.a. I stole some yogurt. Man, there's a lot of a.k.a.s today.
It's your boy Flynt Flossy, F.Floors, Flynt Flow Double, International, you already feel me. Boop, boop, boop.
Your boy, Pierre Cashmere, a.k.a. Tickle Your Kneecaps, a.k.a. She Has a Lover, but I Still Want Her For Me.
Name all the singles.
Yes.
They already like, why you have so many a.k.a.s?
Right, man.
We've been called certain things.
Right.
I think a lot of people don't know the origins of Turquoise Jeep. How'd you guys all get started, both as a group and label?
It's just really like, doing our thing within the industry. And, a lot of times what I look at, like, good energy attracts. So we're just really, people, artists of, like-minded artists that decided to, work together, you know what I mean? So it just kind of like, divine destiny, man. It was just like the universe just brought us together. So, I'm doing one thing, Pierre doing one thing, what you do is one thing. And we just became tight, cool, like, yo, hop on this, boom, boom, boom. Made it organized and bam, became a camp.
And was the plan always to go independent, or did you guys initially try to, do the record label thing?
I mean, you do a lot of like, in this industry, you deal with a lot of bullshit. You feel me? Like, so, I think us being like, just creatives and, just really cherishing that freedom, it just kind of happened naturally, and it's just kind of like, you just want to do your own shit. And it's like, you know, it just happens naturally. So it wasn't like we're trying to necessarily rebel, you know, but it just happened naturally. You know what I mean?
When I first learned about you guys, 2 names came to mind.
Right.
Cash Money, No Limits.
Hey, that's crazy.
You know?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Were those guys kind of like a reference point in terms of the route that you wanted to take? And Master P was selling albums out of his trunk
Yeah,
when
that's
he sold
correct.
like
Yeah.
100,000
You get
units.
it. You get it. You
I
get
mean,
it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly. I would say like they were part of the inspiration. Of course, Floss and I kind of talked about it, and at first I didn't believe he was serious. Let's just put it out there. Still to this day, I don't believe he's serious about it, but you know he's serious about it. Like we've been this far with it. But when we really started, it was kind of semi-influenced by them, but inspired by them. But I think we created our own, put our own little flair on there, our own little niche on that too as well. So
Because it's always inspiring just seeing people do their own thing and going against their odds. You know what I mean? Because like, especially with, you know, all our styles, you know, as individuals, as a collective, you know, sometimes I'm gonna keep it real, like, you know, keep it real like a motherfucker. You know, people like, man, what the fuck am I watching? You know what I mean? Or what am I listening to? And you know, it's dope to, you know, how, you know, what transpired from it. Just really just being ourselves and just being able to create, and people gravitating towards it, you know, and just having that individual artist, you know, that as artists. So
Well, I mean, that's the interesting thing, because, like, you know, that is the first sort of response, right? Like, what am I watching?
Right.
I've heard everything from, like, comedy hip hop to novelty rap. And, I mean, I'm sure you're not crazy about those labels, but
Right.
the one thing that sort of works is that no matter how ridiculous you find it, those melodies get, like, just buried in your head.
Yeah,
And I find
yeah.
myself singing your songs all the time.
Appreciate
And
it.
it's-
Nice.
You know, and it's coming up on a decade now, right? You guys started
Yeah.
in 2009.
Wow, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
right.
So-
we do feel old now, but you said it like that. Coming up on a decade, right?
That shit crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
That shit crazy.
But I mean, being based on the genre, just to piggyback off what you said, we created our own called Existing Musical Beings.
Right.
So again, yeah, we didn't want to be put in a box, man, of being called comedy rappers or, you know, what they call us, a parody group of hip hop. When we really just did our own thing.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like we spoke the language that we knew of. It's not always about drugs and stuff for other people or
Right.
guns all the time. Shit, we like women. Like
It is what
everybody
it is.
like women.
man.
Would assume so. So we talked about what we wanted to talk about,
Right,
which was
right.
women. So
Yeah.
our language was that. So that's why we decided let's call ourselves Existing Musical Beings. That's our genre.
For sure.
And it's, I think people just didn't know, again, like when it's unorthodox, they don't know how to classify you, you know, so they just throw a label on there, like who we making fun of, or we parody, we not who we parody, we not
Right,
parody, you know what I mean?
right.
So at the end of the day, we know, like if I come up with a hook or a song, you know, I'm thinking like, I'm gonna say what the fuck is on my mind. And the thing about us, like, however you perceive it, however people takes it, as long as it brings out an emotion, it's whatever. If it makes you want to dance, cool. If it makes you want to laugh, cool. If it makes you think, cool. But it was not you know, a specific intent. Like, okay, I'm going to, this is gonna be hilarious. This is like, we just different, you know. And there's humor in real life. You know, we just talk about real shit. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, YouTube has been a huge part of your branding. You know, just putting out the type of videos that you do, and they're very like a very specific vision to them. You
Right,
can tell
right.
that. So I'm wondering, like, do you guys collaborate on the ideas and the videos, or is it just is it all coming from one of you?
Floss does it all.
Yeah.
It comes from Floss.
It comes from
I'm pretty
Floss.
weird, man. But a lot of, you know. But the thing about it is, like, if I put together a visual, I'm a run it by the homies. Like, yo, what y'all, you know, boom, boom, boom. Because
Trust
at the
his
end of the
vision.
day, you know, if Whatcha does a track, you know, everyone besides him is the audience. Everyone besides me, you know what I mean. So we critique each other and everything. So we're all very creative and everything. But the visuals, like, I'll be like, yo, what y'all think of this? Hoopty whoop. You know, I show it to them. They like, man, what should be like, man, I'm on a motherfucking pigeon, man.
I wasn't even gonna say anything about that. I was just gonna let it go.
It was like,
this
man,
time.
Oh
I was just gonna not say anything about that, but that's cool that you brought it up.
I'm sorry, man. My bad.
So the weirdness is him, as you noticed.
So, I mean, there's a lot of strong imagery in your lyrics. So when you're writing songs, do you automatically think of what the video is going to look like?
Me personally, yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of times I'll start editing in my head already, you know, or how I'm going to shoot it, you know, and I'll run it by the homies like, this is what I was thinking. They'd be like, okay, yeah, let's do it, you know, you know.
And what's your influence in terms of, I mean, all these music videos look like mini movies. So you're probably a cinephile. I'm assuming you watch a lot of movies.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What are those ideas come from?
You know, just real, like as a kid, I just watched a lot of shit. Like for instance, like my big brother had a VHS tape and he had like a whole bunch of motherfucking videos in there. Mm-hmm. And I remember as a kid watching Aha Take On Me. I remember watching Peter Gabriel and all those videos. I'm just enamored, like, you know what I mean? So like essentially when I started to, you know, direct for like a lot of independent artists, like when me and Whatcha, you know, we sat down and I was like, yo, we just do this shit ourselves, you feel me? Because, you know, been doing this for other people. It's like, yo, fucking. And then when you're, you know, like if I, as a director, if I'm directing for another artist, it's like, you know, at the end of the day, you're expressing yourself visually, but you still got to answer to them. You know, they be like, okay, I don't want that in there. I don't want that in there. Woo-doo-woo. Mm-hmm. You know, when you coming up with a motherfucking Smang It, or did I mention like dance, or taste like yoga, it's like, it's like, fuck it, put whatever in there. Mm-hmm. It don't matter if it don't make sense. And that's the point of the art.
And so in terms of music, what were the influences for you guys growing up? What kind of music did you listen to?
Tons of different music. Shit, you could name it. I mean, Queen,
Prince, Michael Jackson,
Teddy Riley. Michael Jackson's always there for everybody.
Oh, everybody, you know.
Shit, like
I love Chicago. Yep.
Yeah, he's about to say that.
Piece of Terror. That's one thing. Oh, yeah, I'm the man who will fight. Yeah, all that.
That's not surprising in that based on your music, you take from several different genres. It's still hip hop at the end of the day, but you know, those definitely the melodies, like it expands beyond hip hop.
Yeah, that's why we were inspired by those many different genres.
Right.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, the take sounds so rough when we say it. Yeah, we were inspired by them. You know what I'm saying? So we were inspired by them to just create something. Right. It was like a big gel, like gumbo in a sense. You know, mix it all in together. Pow, you got something, a good dish, and that's us.
And I think the fact that we are so, you know, our ears are real diverse. You know, we listen to everything. It's like if you're making a hip hop song, or you know, an existing musical being song, whatever we wanna. Whatever comes out the heart, like, okay, you may remember you know, kind of like be inspired by a song subconsciously that was a rock song or a pop song, and then you know, when you create your own, have your own creation, is like, okay, it's like a fusion. So that's why we kind of developed this sound. When you hear like one of our tracks, you're like, okay, this is Turquoise Jeep. Okay, I could tell. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We're all pretty much producers.
In terms of touring, it's been, I think, 4 years since you were last in Toronto.
Too long, man.
Too long, yeah.
Baby.
It's been 4?
Damn.
I believe so.
I definitely lied to the border officer. I told him like 3 years, 2-3 years.
It could have been 3.
It probably is 4.
It was 3.
Yeah.
It was 2015.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And as I mentioned before, you know, it was at the Dance Cave, and I showed up probably, you know, the last 10 minutes.
Right,
because you guys you went on so early, and I was like, what hip-hop show goes on this early?
Man, we don't know what happened, man. Like,
yeah.
We don't know.
If a show goes on before 11:30, I'm happy.
Right,
But,
right. But you know what's crazy? Like, a lot of times, if it's too late, people think you're like being bougie.
Right.
Like nah, this is regular. Like,
Yeah. So what can we expect from tonight?
Just sweating, man. Sweating in this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
A lot of energy.
Energy, man. Just, you know, just having fun, man. Just like the thing about us is like we like for the audience to leave their troubles at the door, and just when you're at our experience, that's what's man. You're delving in our world. You know what I'm saying? We welcome you with open arms, and just enjoy yourself, and don't think too hard, man. Just jam out. You feel me?
You guys have definitely sort of carved out like a loyal fan base,
Right.
But it's a very like sort of niche market, I guess.
Right, right.
Because you're not like everyone else within hip hop.
Right.
I mean, what is your, if you can say the demographics of your audience? Would you say?
All over. It's all over. I can't. It's because it's crazy. Because we'll go to like Dragon Con, and everybody, man, I fucking love you, right? Then you will have a show, and it'll be like some 6 foot hood motherfucker like, hey dog, I love you. You know what I mean? And then it'll be someone like at a regular at a cubicle.
Remember that?
An 80-year-old. 80-year-old she's from England.
Wow.
Yeah, like so it's really. I think at the end of the day, it's like the commonality, like what the common thing is really like people just. It evokes emotion, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, and a lot of music, they just, I mean, we bringing out some kind of emotion out of you, whatever it may be. If it evokes some kind of emotion, we did our job. You know what I mean? And people realize that, so they gravitate towards it, and it's a blessing, man.
Even with the Marines.
Right? Yeah.
The Marines. Yeah.
Army, like it's hard to put a hand on, because then you'll hear like someone say like, oh, my 6-year-old loves you, and you're like,
It's true. Like we see videos from babies dancing to the music, and that type of shit like really makes you feel like, damn, okay, what am I saying to these kids? And then at the same time, you're like,
They
all right,
listening.
yeah, they're listening. That's really
Right.
the main thing. So we're touching that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's layers there, right? Because, obviously they don't understand the lyrics, right?
But they
right.
feel the music,
Yeah,
and that's one of the
exactly.
other things to know.
exactly.
Yeah.
And even with our lyrics, we like to say stuff without saying it. We like to, mind games.
We're
you feel me?
suggestive.
Yeah.
We're real suggestive,
Yeah. Definitely a lot of double entendres there.
Exactly.
You got it.
You get it.
Well, what do you guys think of the current state of hip hop? I mean, I know that's kind of a loaded question, but I'm an old guy too, and I grew up on Das Effects and
Right.
Wu-Tang and
There you go. Right.
Tribe
Tupac.
and De La and that kind of stuff. And I'm not shitting on new hip hop, because there's a lot of great stuff out there.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's not for me, right? It's for younger people.
Right.
And if they're feeling it, that's fine. I'm not hating on that, but
Right.
I just find that like it's very sort of, the whole mumble rap thing has kind
Right.
of taken over, and that's why I appreciate Turquoise Jeep is like there's still melody there. There's still
Appreciate
great
it,
hooks, great.
And our
but still
lyrics
good
are
rapping.
clear. That's what you want to say
Right,
to it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can understand.
Yeah.
Baby.
Well, the thing about it, I'll just say it like this: for hip hop, I mean, naturally, it's still a young genre.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like going through its changing phase right now. I'd say it's like going through a middle-age crisis. That's what I kind of tell people. You know what I'm saying? Because when it first started, it was figuring it out. Second time, but like the second decade, it was like, listen, we're going to be super strong about it and be very opinionated on what we talk about. The third decade, it was all about, listen, we are selling drugs and we're making tons of money selling it.
Now it's taking
Now it's like,
drugs.
we are taking these drugs and we're going to tell you the feeling that we get from taking these drugs. Not all of them do it. Let's just make sure it's clear. As I said, it's going through its little midlife crisis.
That's a great way to break it down.
You know
It's
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's real.
So,
Yeah.
we understand where we stand in it. Of course, like we come from that Tribe era. We come from that, Das Effects era. Like, that's us.
Nickelodeon.
It's true.
That's my
Yeah.
shit, man.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Like-
Diggable plants, everything. Like, that's us. That's what we grew up on. But at the same time, we're in this industry. We're meeting people who are younger than us, too. And, they're looking up to us like, damn, you guys have all this energy. And we're like, shit, you haven't seen, like, MC Hammer? What the fuck is that?
Like what? My big brother, shout out to him. Like, he's a performer. So he had them VHS tapes, you know what I'm saying, when I was too young to watch them, you know what I mean? I didn't know what was going on. So I just watched all those motherfuckers, you feel me? Like Special Ed and Kwame and you know what I mean? So I just took it all in, But as far as the current state of hip hop, it's really like a to each its own right now, It's like
It's trendy.
yeah, it's like it's not. I can't say I don't think as many people are putting emotion into it. It's become like a different kind of drive. But like people have different motives. Maybe it's just money or whatever. It's like a lot of music. Not gonna say a lot, but a good amount. That doesn't evoke the same emotion. You know what I mean? But there is still a good amount of dope artists out there. So it's really a,
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, you-
J.
I mean,
Cole. You know, all
yeah.
these.
I mean, yeah.
He's like in a different genre. They like
They
in a,
step out. They
Logic.
stand out.
Yeah,
and we
they
know
stand
that.
out.
they it's like a different
They're
genre.
like
so.
lyricists.
Yeah,
More. So.
yeah. That's why I'm really more on like just making music and just whatever people define it, they define it. I wouldn't say it's hip hop. I wouldn't say it's this. I'm just make some motherfucking shit. You just call it what it is. You feel me? Like, yeah.
Another great artist, Childish Gambino. You guys collaborated with a few years
Yeah,
ago.
he's
killing it right now.
Yeah, how did that materialize?
He's fly.
How did that come to be?
You know what?
It just happened. I'll be honest with you. Like when we met, when we met at Fun Fest.
Right.
I hate saying that thing 3 times, but yeah, we met there. But he was a fan before that, so he was a fan of ours, which shows you like how weird music is and how far it travels. So we just kind of connected from that. Like I said, he just wanted to do the track.
Right.
So
Real humble dude. Like the fact that he came up to us and said, "Yo, can I have a picture and stuff?" Like I had the utmost respect for the guy. Like you ever see somebody that's winning, you like, dang, this motherfucker winning, but like they must deserve it. He deserves it. I give him that because he's a real, humble soul, man. The fact that he come up to us and it wasn't like a piggyback thing. Like I want to do something with you because you're hot, or I'm gonna get these views. I'm gonna do this. Like I just like you, And unfortunately, we're like in a, with the social media age and stuff. It's real superficial, pretentious. Everybody's like,
right.
I wouldn't do. Okay, would I do something with this person? They don't have enough followers. What I do with them, they have enough likes. They have enough fans. Like me personally, I'll just be like, oh, they dope. I don't care if they got followers or fans. I'm just gonna fuck with them.
Yeah.
And then, and that's the good part. I like humble dude, man. I think we cut from the same cloth with that dude, so that's good.
Who are some other, not just hip hop artists, but other artists that you guys would want to collaborate with?
Diplo.
Diplo.
Yeah,
Kyle was another one.
Kyle's dope.
Kyle's dope. I
Yeah.
could definitely see that Ariana Grande for me.
Yeah.
Wait, do you want to collaborate with Ariana?
Yeah,
Or you
yeah.
want to
Yeah, she dope.
collaborate with Ariana?
Probably both.
No comment. Hey man, no comment, man.
That's cool, man. I mean,
Collaborating.
It's cool. It's all over the place to me. I know we've done stuff with like, shout out to Combi Christ.
Yeah, the rock group, our homies, our friends, Combi Crisis one. Like we go all the way left and right, man. So it's
We
like,
all over.
yeah,
We just like Waldy fitting in whatever, man. Like just like grits. Just go with everything. We did something with Jimmy Eat World. Shout out to them. I actually directed their last video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so yeah, like Yip Deceiver. Yeah, it's just a lot of
we
like,
were
it's-
all over the place.
Yeah,
Shout out
it's-
to Yip Deceiver.
Yeah,
Like
we're really like all over the motherfucking place. But it's dope because we still have you still sense the core. You know what I'm saying? We don't lose our the base. You feel me? Of the art.
Absolutely. So Halloween's coming up. I don't know if are you guys playing a show that night?
No.
Are you guys big on like dressing up, costumes?
Probably not.
It's crazy
I was
because
Blade 3 years in a row. I just put on some sunglasses. Freeze, vampire.
I love Blade.
I said, fuck it.
I love Blade.
Put on a leather coat and put some sunglasses. Dark skin. Hey, sex tie.
But I imagine a lot of people are going as Flynt, as you guys.
Yeah,
I've seen it on like Instagram.
we've seen it too, and you know what? It's dope when we seen it, and it's also like, damn, like we reached that kind of level, even though it's like not super huge. It's just the fact that people spent their time to do that.
For sure.
Right.
Man, like it's crazy. So it's definitely flattering. I would say that.
Oh,
But
it's beyond flattering. It's real, like it's surreal, And every time, as artists, I know me personally, like I know these guys. We all cut from the same cloth in the sense where it's like we always driving for more. We always going next level, next level, next level. You know what I'm saying? Because as an artist, you can't be content. But at the same time, you have to really sit down and appreciate what you have. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you just got to take a breath and be like, yo, man, like we're blessed enough to do a show in Toronto, do a show in LA, do a show in New York and Chicago, and it's the same, same type of fan. Like, yo, thank you. We hear a lot of thank you, like thank you for what you're doing, and that's just a reward in itself,
Absolutely. One thing is, in your lyrics, you guys don't really cuss at all, which is
Right, because we
Pretty
curse
rare.
here, right? Yeah.
no, but it's pretty rare in hip hop.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
I'm terrible.
you
Yeah,
yeah. So was that
Mr.
always a
Pratt.
conscious decision, or is that just
Definitely.
like what was the?
Yeah, it's a couple of reasons. I think for me, one, it's tougher to not say fuck
For sure.
in a rap.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is? Like, it's super hard to say fuck a motherfucker. We want to say that.
That's a comfort zone.
Like, it's right there to say it, but it's like, really, it's too hard to do that. Like, so a lot of times we looked at it like it's a challenge for us to be like, all right, shit, I bet, let's see what we can talk about the topic and stay on topic and not curse. Like, that works that way. And then secondly, business decision wise, it kind of worked. We did one song where we actually cursed, which was Stretchy Pants. We, it was
Long
too much.
story.
Yeah,
Long
long
story.
story on how it happened. But ever since then, when it came out, we just saw like a lot of bleeps. And we're like, they're not really hearing everything we're saying.
Right.
So I think it got lost in translation. So we said, well, for me, I made that conscious decision. Like, you're going to get my songs and it's going to be suggestive, but you're not going to get any cursing from me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
Floss?
Yeah, you hit it on the money.
Oh, okay.
Like,
All right,
for
good.
real, like I know. Yeah, you pretty much said it all. Like definitely, it's a challenge too. It makes you, instead of saying like, as you can see, if you follow my Instagram or whatever, like my mouth dirty as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like we talking, but at the same time, is in the music, it's definitely a challenge, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna come up with another word. I'm gonna come up with another something to suggest. Like we like to play on words. Be suggestive, be clever, be witty. So at the end of the day, I always like, especially the filmmaker or as an artist, I like to see bodies of work and be like, watch it 3 times, and then like, oh snap, I didn't see that the first time, I didn't see that the second time. And even with the lyrics, like they say something like, oh, that's what he meant, oh, he meant this, so it's a lot of replay value too.
For sure. So that's almost time for us. But before we leave,
Cool.
wondering if we can get a quick verse on any song you guys feel like doing.
Oh, freestyle, Floss.
Oh, he didn't say freestyle.
Oh,
He
no.
said
If you want to freestyle, that's
No, I just like to put him on the spot all the time.
I'll go.
He's gonna be like, "Hey man, what?
Hey, what's going on with you,
What's
man?
going on?"
Man,
Nah.
I'm scared. I'm nervous, man. What's going on? No.
Oh man, Pierre Cashmere, go ahead and do your thing, man. Hit him with the silkiness, man.
Silkiness, man.
with the silky smooth voice.
Come on, man. Channel
Come
it, baby.
on.
Here we go. I can't help it. She's the one I can't ignore. I'm like a kid in a candy store. She might have the best of me. Sometimes I can't sleep thinking of her. She's got a man. Yeah, she's got a man at home. I know it's risky, I know it's wrong, but she might be the one for me. But you'll never know.
Check that man out, man. He's silky with that, man. We didn't even want to rap. We just want to end it off
Hey,
with some
man,
silky,
that
smooth
voice is golden, baby.
fluttery, man. That's what he is. Floss, you
Yeah,
gonna hit your run?
Yeah.
Hit your run.
Run it.
Won it.
Hit your run. Your
You
run.
run.
From the finger.
Oh, the run?
Uh-huh. That's why he raps, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he raps.
I do my
man.
melodic thing, man. I don't need to say. I do my melodic. Baby.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, guys, man.
Everyone, check out turquoisejeep.com, and you can find them on YouTube as well.
Yep, and you could also find us on Twitter at Turquoise Jeep
Instagram, Turquoise Jeep Music.
and everything at Turquoise Jeep.
And
.com. Anyway, man, we love you guys, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yes,
Thank y'all
Thank
for
you so
rocking
much.
with us, man.
Yes.
Looking forward to the show tonight.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
You've been listening to Season 2, Episode 23 of This Broken Mixtape with hip-hop group Turquoise Jeep. If you haven't already, visit thisbrokenmixtape.com to check out this episode's Spotify playlist. There you'll also find our past interviews and custom illustrations for each show. If you enjoyed this episode, please take the time to subscribe, rate, and share our podcast however you're tuning into us today. Also, if you have any comments, feedback, or ideas for guests, feel free to drop us a line through our website, Instagram, or Twitter. You can find all our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, the Buns Podcast Network, YouTube, and now Spotify. As always, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Cheers.